Good connectivity is critical. It's air and water and lifeblood of businesses like my own, as well as those receiving the services.
We tried all kinds of ends to try to get better connectivity. And the bottom line is we just couldn't buy it. It wasn't a matter of that, we weren't willing to pay for something. It was a matter that it just was not available here. And so the access to this fiber has been just a godsend for us.
Fiber is important to our business because our business in the future is all about the internet.
The fiber network that Utopia is trying to build is wonderful for moving bandwidth around. So the increase in penetration in wireless, the more often they're used to do internet-based services like video downloads or uploads, that's just going to drive the demand for fiber even further.
I think the best analogy that I've heard is to think of wireless as an extension cord. Wireless gets you access to the places that you can't bring a wire. But just like an extension cord, you wouldn't want to power your whole house using an extension cord. You need that wireline capacity, that big pipe that you can rely on all the time.
Well, the Google announcement is wonderful. It couldn't have been timed more appropriately for what we're doing and what Utopia has been pioneering. It's amazing because they've said 100 megabits? When people have been questioning what I do with that, they've said, no, we need a gigabit. And it's not that much more to do a gigabit. Now you can just change the electronics, not the ends of the fiber, and go right up to scale. So it's really future-proof.
We can do phone and internet over wireless. If they try to watch a movie while they're on the phone, sometimes it interferes with their phone. Where on the fiber, everything is segregated, beautiful. They can be watching TV, working for work, downloading new software that they need to do their jobs, all at the same time. It's amazing.
And I think that's where we're headed. We're headed for ever-increasing usage, ever-increasing demand for bandwidth.
Municipal services like smart grid technologies, public safety, emergency broadcast systems, all of these things are driving an insatiable need for bandwidth.
There is just going to be no end to the need for capacity when it comes to using the internet.
Utopia is in a unique position in that so much of what the original vision was of these high-capacity networks with multiple service providers competing over them is becoming the world standard.
Well, the difference between having Utopia and not having Utopia has been day and night for us. And we thought we were pretty fast before, but our ability to transfer large files through a big pipe in a very fast, efficient manner has made a huge difference in our ability to communicate with clients, in our ability to create projects, and our ability to really do a great job for clients no matter where they are and no matter where we are.
For me, having been in business for almost 15 years, I realized the necessity for a level playing field, and no matter what business that you're in. Municipal networks where anyone can come and provide services provide that open access.
All the big operators are trying to do innovation, but they have billions and billions of dollars built on their old closed networks, but they don't have IP and they don't have high bandwidth, and that's what's so exciting about Utopia.
Why build 100 of one thing than just one nice open network that everybody can use?
Open access networks enabled economic development and competition in a number of ways. For one, the service providers on open access networks are often local businesses. So they're hiring local people, they're investing in the local communities, and the money is staying within the community instead of going to a corporate headquarters someplace out of the community. If you're going to shape business around the use of these networks, healthcare, education, you can't have it be a situation where the network only works some of the time for some people. It needs to be able to work all the time for all of the people, and the only technology that can do that today is fiber.
From Vuminami's perspective, open access networks like Utopia give us access to customers that we normally wouldn't have and provide a more competitive landscape for the smaller businesses in the area.
The biggest things that it's allowed me to do is go in and compete in a larger business area. A customer that has 500 employees and needs high bandwidth, I never got any of those bids. That's changed already since I've signed up with Utopia.
A fiber optic network offers an unlimited number of services that people would like to pay for that would run across this fiber optic network.
The promise of Utopia is building that fiber network, and just as we build our roads and then let FedEx and UPS and Winder Farms and other companies compete on the roads, we're building a fiber network that will be an open network for the entrepreneurs of today and tomorrow to compete on.
People have said, I want the future, bring me some choices, because that's part of what I wanted.
For 75% of America, the incumbent telephone company does not appear to be at any time in the near future going to be upgrading their networks to a full fiber network. As a result, what that means is you're going to end up with 75% of America having a cable monopoly in this 100 megabit future, having no competition, no way to keep prices down, to keep services up, to keep driving innovation. That's really where our focus needs to be, because if we don't get these fiber networks out there, we're going to have a cable monopoly for our 100 megabit future, and that's not a future that I'm very excited about.
When Utopia first came into Tremonton City Manager Rich Woodworth, he suggested that they come up here to the center because we had a lot of computers. We got hooked up on this, and it's been a lifesaver for us. We've been able to accomplish things that we dreamed about before.
I hear different feedback as a mayor. I hear people that say, why are we getting involved in this? And I also hear people saying, when can Utopia come to my house? When can I have internet, the speed of light, zoom into my place? And I must say the complaints are 10 to 1 in favor of having fiber deployed. And that's just on the residential side. We certainly hear it on the business side too as we work in our economic development efforts.
It's the fastest growing revenue section of my business right now is Utopia Fiber.
It's helped our business grow immensely.
Any company that is even marginally savvy in this 21st century is going to choose where they locate based on their access to connectivity. Quite simply, if you don't have it, they're not coming.
I think the biggest plus is bringing in the companies that have the higher paying jobs.
And thus the community grows, we get more residents, better high-paying jobs.
It's, as far as an economic development tool, it is the best tool to bring in outside high-paying jobs to rural communities.
Every business contributes significantly to how the city runs, and if we can draw some good-paying jobs because of our internet service, I think it's well worth the money spent for it.
Our business opportunities really are almost limitless. If we didn't have fiber, it would not only hamper those opportunities, it would probably limit what we were doing with our present clients.
You know, if we didn't have the capacity we have today, we would have to rethink how we are receiving files from our customers. I'm not sure exactly what we would do.
Because people get bored sitting in a computer and waiting and waiting and waiting. And a lot of people would get so bored they just get up and leave. Now it runs so fast, they're just tickled, and they're able to sit there, and in a few seconds they can have what they want and they can move on.
I love the fact that Utopia is coming to town and it's going to make it faster and easier for me to get the information that I want.
I think that our residents are going to see a major shift in their utility bills as far as savings.
I'm sharing an internet connection with the people on my block. When I get Utopia, it will be a straight shot from my house to the internet.
We've seen lots of studies that show the value of fiber to the home area homes are thousands of dollars more than non-fiber to the home homes. I'm very confident that Utopia is going to be able to pull this together and drive it to success, and I'm very jealous that I can't live here.
You know, Abraham Lincoln says government should only do for the people what the people cannot do for themselves. And right now the technologies are demanding faster and faster bandwidth. And we're not seeing that being provided at the rates that our businesses and that many of our homes need. And so to get with the future, we're providing this necessary infrastructure. And it's not about supporting one company or a monopoly or a duopoly. It's about supporting the dozens of entrepreneurs that can benefit from an open fiber network.
I would say Utopia is on the right track. And I think over time it will show that it is the right direction for cities to go to provide that infrastructure.
I would say that the value of Utopia moving forward for the community is the same as, you know, if we were back in the 60s talking about finishing our interstate highway system. I mean, if it got half built and we had stopped in the 60s, where would we be now?
Any broadband goals America sets has to be established within an international context. And to give some flavor of that, South Korea, for example, has set the goal of achieving 1 gigabit to 80% of homes by the year 2012. How would America have succeeded in the 20th century if we would have had electricity that was more expensive and less capacious than other countries? And so that's what we're setting ourselves up for if we don't set our sights high enough here in the 21st century, as bandwidth is the electricity of the 21st century economy.
It's going to become more and more like a utility. We don't necessarily think too much about how our electricity gets into our house or where it comes from or where it's generated, but it's something that we expect to be there.
There are many new industries moving into the community who are asking for fiber. These are new industries, they are creating new jobs, and they need fiber, and they know fiber makes a difference. We think that this is as important as highways. This is the information highway.
The internet and the infrastructure it's carried on is essential and should be considered infrastructure, and that the government should support it, that every time we lay down a road with federal funds, we should be laying down conduit for fiber as well.
We've got a really good start, but we need to finish building out the infrastructure, building out the system so that we're totally connected.
You know, the thing that pleases me most about Utopia right now is the track record of the last couple years. To grow the number of service providers from 3 to 12 is huge when we're talking about an open network and facilitating private entrepreneurs. To grow from 5,000 to 8,500 customers in just the last couple of years is huge. So we really are on the right track. And the problem now, the biggest problem with Utopia right now, is we're not growing fast enough.
Utopia is taking this the right way and is treating this fiber as we treat our highways, our sewage, our water. It's absolutely critical because the future is information flow.
It's just got to succeed. There's no option to fail.